Greetings, Culturians, and welcome back to the channel. I have some strange news for you from the Avengers Doomsday movie, and it seems like somehow you're going to get Glenn Powell as Nova, potentially. But who knows, because Feige doesn't know, because the writing's not done, and the writer wants Glenn Powell as Nova. As confusing as it sounds, it's even more confusing probably within Marvel itself, because Feige is a terrible manager. Here we go. Now, before we get started, just a quick reminder, I'm trying to get 50K. Only you can help me do that, so double check you're still subscribed to the channel. If not, subscribe now, turn on all notifications, and I will see you soon. Let's start here with Cosmic Book News' article. See, the Avengers Doomsday writer wants Glenn Powell as Nova, according to Matt McGloin over there. Now, this is like a week old at this point, or maybe as long as a week old, and to me, we should have heard more news about this, but we haven't. So I'm inclined to believe this may be accurate since we don't really get a lot of news from inside this Avengers catastrophe. And let's take a look at the story because I think it's key to the conversation. Waldron, who also wrote Loki and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, dropped the comment while appearing on the Bingeworthy podcast, and where he was asked who he could see the Marvel's next classic hero. Well, wasn't the next hero supposed to be Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic? Isn't that why we got a very rushed and very terrible Fantastic Four? I would have thought that would have translated over into this terrible film with a supervillain played by a former hero in RDJ. This is going to be a mess of a movie. I just, mark my words. But as we can see here in the story, Waldron said he'd be a pretty good Nova, referring to Powell, the Top Gun Maverick, and Twister's star. I would say Top Gun Maverick, he was excellent. A lot of people haven't seen anything he's done since then, and there's been quite a bit. It's not like the guy's been unemployed. But Waldron and Powell recently worked together on Hulu's Chad Power series, which Waldron wrote and produced. The show clearly left an impression on Waldron, who now seems eager to see Powell don the Nova Corp helmet in the MCU. And yes, the Nova Corp has been described multiple times and shown in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I kind of thought they were going somewhere with that, and we would see Nova sooner rather than later. But is this going to be the right time to do it? I don't know. I would love to see a good Nova, and I think that Powell could do it. But bringing him in at this stage of the game to be the superhero that's absolutely needed for this Avengers Doomsday film seems a little late to the party to me. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. But back to the story. The long road to Nova in the MCU. Marvel has been trying to bring Nova to screens for years. Initially, Moon Knight writer Sabir Pirzada was developing a Disney Minus series centered on Richard Ryder, the original Nova. Then Ed Bernero was brought on board to act as showrunner with the series compared to Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek. However, it seems that development has stalled. Yeah, no kidding. Like died, more likely. But the main issue seems to be the budget. Cosmic projects are very expensive, and Disney's streaming strategy has shifted towards smaller scale, low budget shows like Daredevil Born Again and animated shows. It's speculated that Nova project may be quietly shelved or at least put on hold until Marvel figures out the new direction. That's led to growing talk that Nova could instead make his debut on the big screen, possibly as part of the new Marvel Cosmic Reset following Avengers Doomsday, maybe even leading into an adaptation of Annihilation, which was actually set up as the start of Infinity War. Adding more fuel to the speculation, the Marvel Comics is relaunching Nova with Richard Ryder back in the lead. That makes a lot of sense. That'll bring some masculinity back, which they desperately need. Marvel has often used its comic book line to test ideas for upcoming film and TV projects, and they've just kind of cherry picked what it is they think might resonate with you all. None of it's going to resonate with me because all I see is compromised material left and right across the board. They haven't been able to do any proper adaptation of anything of quality in a very long time. And again, that's because they put a lot of people on the no-go list and they basically cast their directors. And they also choose their writers very selectively. And Waldron seems on board with what Feige wants to do, which means we all should be very worried about what Doomsday looks like. Regardless, the new Nova series could serve the same function as a way to gauge fan interest before Marvel commits to a live-action adaptation of the Marvel Universe. If you're new to Nova, check out everything before 2011. Everything after isn't worth a read, and I agree with that. Matt is 100% correct about the timeline for when things were good and then things went very, very bad. So as usual, I leave it up to you. Let me know what you think. Do you want to see Glenn Powell play Nova in Doomsday or in the second Doomsday film? Do you want to see him cast as a gorgeous, well-muscled superhero that has a lot of masculinity that are all traditional things in Marvel? Or do you want to see us continue down the feminization road that Kevin Feige has kind of laid out for the future? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. And as always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya! But probably not at Doomsday. Seriously.